Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। Welcome to week 2 of Chinmaya Yoga. Together we can, together we must, together we will. Commit to win and win you will. Last week we saw about how Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji in the book Hasten Slowly, he talks on many nuances of yoga. And what is yoga? Yoga means I am here, the object that I desire, the quality that I desire, the situation that I desire, or the person that I desire is here. And yoga is the blessing or the situation where I and what I desire become one. The experience of who I am and what I want to be becomes one. That is the state of yoga. And to be in the state of yoga, we need to live a life of yoga. If I want to become something, if I want to have something, then I have to become and transform myself into the person that has that. Only then will this unity or oneness be permanent. Otherwise, temporarily I can have something, and after some time, when I change, that situation or the object or the person also changes, and it leaves me and goes away. So Gurudev says, if I want to be in a state of meditation for half an hour, for the remaining 23 hours of the day, 23 and a half hours of the day, or 24 hours, I have to live that state. I have to be in an aspiration to achieve that state. I have to distinguish between who am I, what I am not, and always hold on to that state of who I am to be achieving that state of meditation. And this achievement is possible in two ways. One is abhyasa and the other is vairagya. Whether it's a Patanjali Yoga Sutra or the Yoga Shastras or the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads, everything points out towards these two factors, abhyasa and vairagya. And the goal of all achievement, the goal of all yoga, the goal of all quietude and stillness of mind, and the goal of being in that state of a seer with awareness ends with quietening the mind. Whether it's in the Bhagavad Gita, in several places, Bhagavan Sri Krishna points out that the state of yoga is a state of a quiet mind where there is no likes and dislikes, where there is no difference between experience of heat and cold, joy and sorrow, or praise and censure. In praise and censure, joy and sorrow, heat and cold, sukha, dukkha, that is experience of joy and experience of sorrow, and labha, alabha, whether I gain something or whether I lose something, I am in that same quiet state of mind. Then everything beautiful starts happening to me in my life, and that is the state of Chinmaya, or in the state of awareness of consciousness, being in the state of consciousness. When I remain as a drashta, when I remain as a seer of everything that is seen, all materials around me that are seen, all circumstances that are seen, and all objects that are seen, drashta. I am in the state of a seer and I remain a witness to what is happening around me. So that is and this happens through abhyasa and vairagya. Abhyasa means practice. What do I practice? For how long I practice? The Yoga Shastras says dirghakala. Dirghakala means for a long period of time. Long is how long? As long can be. As long as I, Sadashiva Brahmendra ji, Maharaj, who has written the commentary on the Yoga Sutra called Yoga Sudhakara or Yoga Sutra Vritti, says Dirghakala means Ajivana, as long as I am living. Ajivana Paryantam. Nairantarya means if I start something today, it is not that I will do it after 6 months, the practice. Every day, whatever I do every day, I get good at what I do every day. Whatever I am, I pursue every day. The activities that I do, the words I speak, the thoughts I think, and the feelings I have, every day it continues. Dirghakala, Nairantarya, Satkara. When I do it, I don't do it with an attitude of, I just something or by the way I'm doing it. No, with all respect, with all due respect to that practice, I continue that practice. Satkara, asevita. Asevita means I place my full attention to what I do and I do it. Then that practice becomes dridha bhumihi. It becomes very stable and very secure. It becomes an unshaking state of practice. Abhyasa. Abhyasa is focusing on what I want, focusing on what I do, focusing on what I feel right now, focusing on what, not exactly what I do, but what I really want to achieve, focusing on what I want to achieve, focusing on what I want to do, focusing on what I want to feel, and focusing on what I want to become. That is abhyasa. Vairagya means removing myself from what I don't want to be, removing myself from what I want to let go. As I had mentioned earlier, the example of climbing a staircase. If I want to climb a staircase and I want to reach a high state in that building, if I want to reach the topmost floor, the terrace, I want to enjoy the view from the terrace. So this is where yoga comes in the picture. So if I want to reach that floor, I have to start climbing first. So that is taking the first step. Then when I climb, I have to attach my right leg to the next step. And I have to detach my left leg and place it on the higher step. And then I want to climb that whole floor. I want to detach myself from the first floor and then attach myself to the second floor. And from the second floor, I move to the seventh floor. And that is where, after which the terrace is there. If I move to the seventh floor in the same way, by attaching from the previous step and detaching to the next step and attaching myself to the next step and detaching from the previous step. In this process, I move and I reach the seventh floor. And once I want to move to the terrace, I detach myself from the seventh floor. In every floor, I may have something interesting to do. I may have some people interesting to meet. Some situation may be very interesting in that particular floor. But if I want to do something, I have to detach myself from these objects, people, and situations and move on. I may not only have anything interesting that I can focus on, something that I don't like also can happen in some flow. Even in those cases, what I do most of the time is I keep thinking about that object, that person, and that situation, and that keeps holding me there. If I want to pursue higher and higher in yoga, in Chinmaya yoga, I have to detach myself from whatever I don't need, whatever I don't want, whatever is the current situation in my life that I dislike, and I move on to the highest. And so I reach the seventh floor. Once I reach the seventh floor, the role of yoga is over. The role of yoga is over with my abhyasa and vairagya. Once when yoga is over, Patanjali Maharishi also says, Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. I remain as a drashta. I remain as a seer. See, after I want to catch the train, so I want to catch the train, I take the effort. I take my luggage and I reach there on time and I do whatever it is required to reach the station on time, and then I board the train. Once I board the train, I don't need to do anything to catch the train. I am in the train. Once I reach the seventh floor and I reach the terrace, after that I don't need to do any effort to move on higher and higher in the terrace. In the terrace, it's only plain surface, and I don't need to keep one foot somewhere else and leave one foot behind. It is just to walk in the terrace. And even being in the terrace, I don't need to keep simply walking unless I want to walk in the terrace. If I don't want to walk in the terrace, I can just stand in one place and I have to observe. I choose a beautiful scenery, and there is this ashram called Chinmaya Kripa. There is the ashram called Chinmaya Kripa in Coimbatore. It is a very beautiful ashram of Chinmaya Mission in Coimbatore North. I was there in that ashram, and I climbed up to the terrace of the ashram. In the terrace of the ashram, it's a very beautiful terrace, and there are many beautiful things that one can do in a beautiful terrace. They can have a satsanga and discuss about Bhagavan's names and glories. That is one possibility. And there are many beautiful scenes to see around. The many different scenes that I can see there are a big transformer that is right outside the terrace. Or once I see that transformer, I see so many other transformers around that place. Or this telephone pillars that are there. I can see that and complain about it. Otherwise, there are many beautiful trees, flowering trees that come up and rise up above the terrace, and I can look at those trees. Or far, far away from me, there is a very beautiful mountain called Guru Rishi Malai or Guru Adi Malai. The top of the mountain has a Vishnu temple, a Perumal temple, the Mudi Perumal, and beneath that is the Adi Perumal temple. So I can look far away at the temple and be an observer. From the terrace, I can do so many things. I can keep thinking about what happened, what went wrong, or I can keep thinking about what is going wrong in the world all around me. Every day, everywhere, there are these telephone pillars that are coming up, and it says non-ionizing, non-hazardous radiation, and I can keep worrying about how the world is going to dogs and how everywhere global warming is happening, and I can keep thinking about that, or I can keep contemplating on that mountain, the beauty of the mountain, and then I can also sit quietly, spread a mat, close my eyes, and sit in meditation. So many possibilities are there in the world at every moment of our time. It is up to us what we need to choose, what we want to do. So once we reach a pinnacle of yoga, yoga means I'm making an effort to be something that I'm not right now. I'm not in a state of quietude. I'm not in a state of meditation. I'm not in a state of yoga. And so I'm doing something to achieve that state. Once I have achieved that state, what is there to do but just to be in that state of yoga? When I'm being in that state, I am the drashta, or I am the seer. I am Chinmaya. I am consciousness that is observing the situation where I am right now, what I am doing, whom I am talking to, what is the subject of conversation, how my words are coming out of my mouth, what is it that I am receiving from the other person. Everything becomes yoga. Sri Aurobindo says, all life is yoga. Every Mahatma who has pointed out says, even in the Bhagavad Gita, yoga rudhasya tasyaiva shama karana muchyate. Once I have climbed on the horse of yoga and I'm moving forward in life, then what do I need to do? I just need to be in a quiet state of mind. I need to practice vairagya, or letting go of what all I don't want to have in my life. So, to achieve this state of yoga, Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji points out three things that we need to observe about our quality of thoughts, which is the mind is a thought flow in us, thought flow in us. The thought flow has got three things. One is the quality of thoughts, the quantity of thoughts, and the direction of the flow. The quality of thoughts means what kind of thoughts am I entertaining? Am I entertaining angry thoughts? Am I entertaining thoughts of hatred? Am I entertaining thoughts of divisiveness? Am I entertaining thoughts of, ambition? Am I entertaining thoughts of, I want to do this, I want to achieve this, at all costs, I want to do this? Am I entertaining those thoughts? Or am I entertaining thoughts of peace, of harmony, of quietude, of balance, of love, of compassion? What kind of thoughts am I? What is the quality behind my thought? Every thought has got a quality. What is the quality behind that thought? And the qualities are only three in number. Basically, they all boil down to three types of qualities. The prime quality is sattva guna or sattvic quality. The next type is rajoguna or rajasic quality, quality of agitation, quality of disease, quality of suffering, quality of crying, quality of being ambitious, quality of being restless or agitated, that is rajoguna, and the quality of laziness, the quality of stupor, the quality of, do what you want, I cannot do what you tell me to do. That is tamoguna, or basically laziness. Laziness and all these qualities of tamoguna can boil down to inertia or non-movement or stillness. All qualities of rajoguna can boil down to dynamism or restlessness, activity in the present moment, work in the present moment. And all qualities of sattva guna boils down to being cheerful, quiet, compassionate, loving, and kind. So, what is the quality behind my thought? How many thoughts of that quality I'm having? That is what is the quantity of thoughts, and then the direction of thoughts or the direction of the flow of thoughts. These three things determine how my mind is going to be. If my mind is having numerous thoughts, then it is going to be an agitated mind. If the mind is going to have ambitious thoughts, then it is an ambitious mind. The mind is having loving thoughts, then it's a loving mind. If the mind is having compassionate thoughts, then it is a compassionate mind. When the mind is having resourceful thoughts, then it's a resourceful mind. So the rhythm in the thought causes the beauty of the mind, the quantity, quality, and direction of flow. Whenever I go to a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist or a therapist or a healer or whatever they may do to us, whether it's a massage therapist or whether it's a physiotherapist or a psychotherapist, what they do is they reduce the quantity of the thoughts in that particular direction of what I want to heal myself. If I want to physically heal myself, if I go to a doctor, the doctor will reduce the quantity of my thoughts and make me focus on that particular problem that I have in the physical body. That's what the doctor pays attention to. Quality of thoughts. Whatever thoughts I have, they try to tweak the quality of thoughts that I have. If I'm sick and I'm entertaining the quality of thought that I'm going to be sick or I am sick or I'm sick or nothing can be done about it, then I will be sick. So if I have to get better, the quality of my thought should turn towards health. I am in good health. I am slim, trim. The body is slim, trim, fit, and healthy. If this thought I entertain, then the quality of the thought can change, and that can bring in the right kind of atmosphere, that can bring in the right kind of situation that I need to have for my body. and the quantity of thought, quality of thought, the direction of flow of thoughts. All our thoughts, right from childhood, we have a manufacturer's defect. Manufacturer is Brahmaji, and he has created this body and mind with attention paid outside. Because that is where we need to pay the most of attention if we want to survive with this body in this life. Because all the threats are coming from outside, so we pay attention outside so that we have a safe situation and surroundings for the maintenance of this body. And that is why in those days, in the hunter-gatherer times, the people who lived in forests, they've developed a tunnel vision. The men have developed a tunnel vision who go hunting, because they have to be very keen and observe where there is danger or whatever they want to do. So the tunnel vision. And now the tunnel vision is coming into our lives also. If people with the tunnel vision, what they do is they just go looking for what they want to do. They want to open the cupboard, they open the cupboard. And then they want to make the coffee, they make the coffee. And if you don't have tunnel vision, the cupboard is, if you have tunnel vision, your vision is directed towards making the coffee, that you forget to close the cupboard and then go and make the coffee. It is the women who are taking care of the nest at home. The man goes out hunting, the hunter-gatherer. So the men are from Mars and women are from Venus talks about this quality. The male vision is the tunnel vision, and the female vision is the one that is looking after the surroundings in the home, protecting the nest, protecting the children, and protecting the family from any kind of intrusion that's coming from outside. So those are the people who remember to shut the cupboards, and then who remember to do protection at every level, at the interior level they do take care of. The men were doing the protection at the outside level with their tunnel vision. All the psychiatric treatments doled out today are attempts to jerk the thought flow of the patient into a rhythm. But the alleys cut by the long periods of wrong flow have created disturbing patterns of thought gush in the subject, and he has an irresistible tendency to dash back into the old familiar stream of thinking and living. A spiritual seeker, to begin with, must therefore learn to initiate new and healthier channels of thought in himself, thereby, on the whole, etching vividly the desired scheme of a spiritually conducive mental behavior. The direction of thoughts in the mind is determined by the peculiar subsurface motivating factors found within the emotional profile in each of us. These are all called vasanas. As I mentioned, we have three gunas: sattva guna, rajo guna, and tamo guna. The sattva guna is responsible for the sattvic feeling we have. The rajo guna is responsible for the rajasic feeling we have, and the tamo guna is responsible for the tamasic feeling in have. So when there is tamasic feeling, there will be tamasic thoughts. When there are tamasic thoughts, there will be tamasic words, and there will be tamasic actions. When there is rajasic feeling, there will be rajasic thoughts, there will be rajasic words, and there will be rajasic actions. When there is sattvic feeling, there is sattvic feeling, there will be sattvic thoughts, there will be sattvic words, and there will be sattvic actions. So if I feel that I am acting in a very tamasic manner, I should go one step behind the action, and I observe what kind of words am I using. Am I using tamasic words? And then behind the words, what kind of thoughts am I having? Am I having tamasic thoughts? And go behind the thoughts and see what kind of feeling that I am having. Am I having tamasic feeling? So then go to the next level to change the feeling. To change the feeling, what I can do, I cannot just say, okay, tamasic feeling, become rajasic feeling. It is not so easy. The feeling is like some kind of, it will not even first allow you to, it will not allow you to know that it is existing inside. Because once you start knowing that it is because of the feelings, that I'm doing particular actions and thinking particular thoughts and speaking particular words, and because of which certain situations are coming in my life, the role of those feelings are gone. It will lose interest. It will have no role to play in your life. It has to go. So it will maximum see to it that you don't really turn your attention and look into it. So to change the tamasic feeling to rajasic feeling, what I should do is I should begin with the actions. I should have some rajasic action. If the tamasic action is I'm lying down and I want to come up from the prone position to the sitting up position, this is my first practice of yoga. This is like the one step that I climb. So from the prone position, if I want to come to the sitting up position, I may not be able to directly sit up because the feeling is so strong that I want to sleep and I want to lie down, that the body will not get up. So what can I do? I can say some nice words. For example, in the Upanishad, there is one line, Uttishthata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Uttishthata, it says, get up, get up, get up. So I can say in my mind, Uttishthata. I'm just giving a simple technique to do a simple yoga in the morning when I want to wake up. I'm lying down and I want to get up. So when I lie down, I don't want to get up. So what can I do? I can just chant in my mind. If I want to get up, then I have to chant Uttishtata. I don't need to chant in my mind. I can even use words and say Uttishtata, Uttishtata, Uttishtata. Okay, if the Sanskrit word is difficult, I can say in English, get up, get up, get up, or wake up, wake up, wake up. Then Jagrata, be alert, be alert, be alert. Till I sit up, I should keep saying, be alert, be alert, be alert. Get up, get up, get up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. And I don't need to think of anything else. Whenever I say something, that particular thought gets prominence in my mind. So that is the need. Even if I say, even if I tell you, think about getting up, think about getting up, the feeling is so strong inside that I want to sleep that it will not allow me to think. When I say think, some other thought will come and sit in that place. Some thought of pizza I ate day before yesterday. Very nice pizza. How I wish I had that pizza. Then the pizza thought will take me to that person in the shop who was wearing a yellow dress when he sold that pizza. That yellow dress, such a beautiful dress I saw in the shop previous day. So the thought will go like a winding road and take me somewhere, and I will be continuing to be in the bed. So if I want to get up from the lying down position to the sitting position, then I just have to say the right words that can make me sit up. Get up, get up, get up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And then I wake up and I sit up. When I sit up, the feeling is still there, it is not gone. We should not, because there are so many times, you know that even after sitting up, it is very easy to lie down and go back into sleep. So I don't want to go back into sleep after I sit up. What I should do? So I keep saying, Uttishtata, Jagrata. So the quantity, what I was saying is the feeling is there, the thoughts are there, the words are there, and the action is there. So I have now come into the action of getting up. From the word of getting up, the body has successfully done the action of getting up. So if I want to remain in Rajas, I should be remaining in that action from that point of time. I focus on my action. What should I do? Do this, do that, be here, do that, go to this place, do this thing, take up this object, focus on my action. Keep my mind where my hands are. Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda says, that is how we keep focusing on our actions. So if I want to stay in Rajas, I have to focus on my actions. I have to focus, whenever I want to make a shift, I have to focus on my thoughts. How to focus on my thoughts? Focus on the words that I am using. So focus on words, focus on thoughts, focus on actions. Then I will be able to make a shift to the next level. Then always rajas, 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 action, action, action. I will become very tired because a lot of energy is dissipated in action. Okay, from that feeling of rajas, I want to come to the feeling of sattva. Then what do? I begin to focus. Focus again on the words that I am speaking. Bring in sattvic words in my conversation. Bring in sattvic books that I need to read. Bring in sattvic dialogues that I am listening to. Bring in sattvic people and sattvic imagery around me in my life. And bring in sattvic thoughts. So these are the ways by which sattvic actions, sattvic words, sattvic thoughts will lead me to sattvic feelings. When I'm in a sattvic mood and a sattvic feeling, it becomes very easy to sit quietly and meditate. When I am in meditation, I reach the terrace of the building that I want to climb, and the terrace of the building is the building of yoga, and I climb and I reach the terrace of Chinmaya or consciousness. And Chinmaya or consciousness is there when I'm in a sattvic state of mind. My mind is very alert, my mind is very dynamic, my mind is very conscious, and I am in that state of Chinmaya. So I achieve Chinmaya yoga by seeing to it that the quality of thoughts, the quantity of thoughts, and the direction of the flow of thoughts are regulated by having sattvic, by reducing the quality of thoughts, by taking it from tamas to rajas and keeping it in the quality of sattva, and reducing the quantity of thoughts in the sattva guna also by taking my attention from all different types of thoughts to the one thought that I want to focus. It can be the thought of Guru, it can be the thought of Bhagavan, or it can be thought of any high goal in my life, quantity of thoughts. And the direction of flow of thoughts by taking away from the world outside through the sense organs, controlling or quietening the sense organs, bringing the mind within me, and then changing the direction of flow towards the self or towards a high goal that I am aspiring to reach. By these three means, we will be able to achieve the quiet state of mind, which is the state of yoga. The removal of this ignorance. Ultimately, when we come, why we are not able to achieve anything that we want to achieve is because we are chasing a mirage. The mirage is whatever I want is available outside in the world is a mirage. And that mirage is caused because of the ignorance that I have within me. The removal of this ignorance, what is the ignorance? I don't know who I really am is the ignorance. Removal of this ignorance, avidya, is the goal of meditation. With the knowledge, vidya, of the spiritual center, the self, this ignorance is ended. And when I seek the self, I cease to be ignorant of my own self. And with that, all my efforts cease, and I can always remain in a state of meditation, in a state of yoga. That is what is the culmination of yoga is tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. I remain as the drashta, I remain as the seer, I remain as consciousness, I remain as Chinmaya, and I perfect the achievement of Chinmaya yoga. Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Bole Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.